Welcome to the Time to Level Up podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Liebross. Each week, I focus on the systems, strategy, and big thinking you need to CEO your business and life to the next level. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the podcast. I hope your spring, summer is going well. I hope you're outside. What do you love to do in the summer? What gives you energy? Are you making time to do it? Something to think about. Well, as our summer here ticks away, I want to remind you that the second half of the year is right about to begin. It is on our doorstep. And now is a great time to think about what you want to accomplish in this second half of 2023. Are you on track to accomplish what you set out to accomplish in January? If you're not, or if it's not happening as fast as you want, why? And would getting some support help you? Why wouldn't getting some support help you? A lot of times we get stuck in our own peanut butter jars, I like to say. And when you're stuck in there, it's really sticky. You can't quite climb yourself up to the edge of the jar to peek over and see what's happening, to read the label, to see what's really going on, what's making up that peanut butter. What are the ingredients? And how do you get out of this sticky mess? You need someone else to read the label when you're stuck in your own jar. And that is a lot of what coaching is about. So I would consider engaging in some sort of support-seeking mechanism to ensure that your second half of 2023 is amazing. And now is the best time to join us, because then you can take advantage of our second half of the year, Q3, Q4 planning sessions that are going to take place in July. You want to be there for that. It's kind of going to be a mini VIP day in a sense, where I'm going to help you craft your plan for the next 6 months. So if you are interested, and if you're just even curious, if it just piques your interest, go set up a call. Let's chat. You can go to AndreaLiebross.com to do that. If that's a lot of letters for you, then just go to Andrea's with an S, links with an S.com, and you can book a call right from there. And I can give you all the details and we can figure out what's best for you. Okay. So my birthday is June 14th. And on June 14th, I am turning 51. And a few months ago, Don Lemon kind of put his foot in his mouth when he said that Nikki Haley, who was a presidential candidate or potential presidential candidate, was not in her prime. So I wanted to spend a little time today, because it's kind of an appropriate month to do so, given that it's my birthday month, to talk about what being in your prime is all about. What is the meaning of prime age? Okay. So of course I did some Googling, right? I love to go to the Googles. And I found that there are so many ways to think about what being in your prime is really about. But I'm going to share some with you, and then we're going to look at those. And I'm going to give you, I think, what I would consider ways to think about what being in your prime really means, and to figure out, are you in your prime? All right. So I liked this definition. It's the best years of one's life, when one is at the peak of one's power. Okay. Or I liked this one even better. The period of one's mature life, when one is at a peak of health and performance, and at the time of maturity, when power and vigor are present. Okay. But when you ask some real live people, what does being in your prime mean? Here are some of the answers. When I'm finally at a stage where I can fulfill a lifelong dream. When I have the courage to challenge myself by learning and doing new things. When I can be my true authentic self and stop pretending to be someone I'm not. When I can finally push aside other people's expectations. When I no longer have to provide for a growing family and can finally do what I want, not what I have to do. When I have the freedom to make more mistakes. When I can actually enjoy moments of happiness and joy. When I understand that no one controls me unless I give them power to do so. When I finally learn to love more and forgive faster. Okay, here's my problem with all of those statements. You can do all of those things at any age. At any age. If you look at your prime years as times in which you find more confidence in yourself, more courage, more beauty, more adventure, more love, we can say that you are in your prime years right now if those are things that you are focusing on. Are you working on finding more courage in yourself? Are you working on creating more confidence? Are you seeking more adventure? What if you thought about being in your prime as right now, not later or not in the past, as right now? How we view ourselves right now truly gives us the power and control over our own lives that we crave all the time. So in a way, if we think about being in our prime years based on our internal aspects, like the way our body is performing or what we've achieved, it doesn't really match the definition that I really like of the time in your life when you are finding more confidence in yourself, more courage, more beauty, more adventure. You can be your authentic self and stop pretending to be someone you're not right now. You can find the courage to challenge yourself by learning and doing new things right now. You can fulfill a lifelong dream right now. You can understand that no one controls you unless you give them power right now. I think the way that we should look at being in our prime years is that the prime of our life should be the present moment. It should be the present moment. It doesn't have to be defined by an age or a stage in life. It should be about your lifestyle in the present moment. We should strive always to make our lives the best in the present moment. Okay? But here's the thing. The prime of our life doesn't really encompass all aspects of life at any one given moment of time. It's an ongoing thing. If we live thinking that way, we can make the prime of our life ongoing and not finite. And we could even think about hitting our prime in different aspects of our life at different times, right? It's kind of where are we trying to gain focus or gain confidence or gain courage? Maybe we're trying to gain confidence and courage within our professional lives or business right now. So you feel like you're in the prime of your business and professional life right now. Maybe you are in the prime of motherhood right now if you've got super young kids, right? And you're trying to find the courage to get them to bed every night and to not tear your hair out. Or maybe you're in a place where you're starting something entirely new. You're pursuing a passion and you are loving that and finding the adventure in that. That could be your prime. So prime should be whatever is happening in the present moment. It might be being in the prime of a certain facet or aspect of your life in the given moment. But the prime of life is not set by society, okay? You create the prime of your life. You define it rather than letting it be defined for you. I think this is super powerful information. And that is what I have for you today. It is a very short episode, but I want you to really think about Don Lemon was wrong. Nikki Haley can be in the prime of her life right now, no matter what her age, if she is looking to find more confidence in herself, more courage, more beauty, more adventure, more love. And as my birthday just occurred a couple days ago, that is what I am thinking right now. I'm about to have a book be released in a couple months. That's something I never thought I would do. That's definitely been an exercise in me finding more confidence. And if you're listening to this episode, you could go probably check out the book. I hope the website is live by the time this episode is published, and you can check it out at shethinksbigthebook.com. But anyway, the prime of your life is the present moment. The prime of your life, you might not be prime in all things, but you are definitely prime in some things. And you set the prime of your life, not societal expectations or what anyone else says. So going back to what some of these other people said when I asked them, what's the prime of your life? When you have more wisdom and make better choices, you have wisdom right now. You can make the best choices right now. When you have more freedom to make more mistakes, you can make mistakes at any point. That's never a bad time to make mistakes. Remember, there's no such thing as failure. It's either winning or learning. When you choose whatever you want to do, someone said, that's when you're at the prime of your life. You get to choose right now. Okay, my friends, message me. Tell me, do you think you're in the prime of your life and why? What is it about right now that makes your life the prime of your life? If you don't feel like you're there, it's time to start growing. It is time to start growing, and I'm here to help you do that. Let's hop on a call and figure out how. Head over to andreaslinks.com and share this episode. If you've got a friend who's been talking about they're too old to do this, or they're not ready to do that, or they're waiting until their kids get out of the house. No, right now is when you are in the prime of your life. And I'd love to be there right next to you. Let me know you're listening. I want to know there's real listeners out there. DM me. Take a screenshot of this episode and say, Andrea, I'm in my prime. Okay, my friends, until next time, right now is the time to level up. What a great title to go with this episode. Talk to you soon. See you next week. Hey, listening to podcasts is great, but you also have to do something to kick your business up a notch. You need to take some action, right? So go to Andrea's with an S, links with an S.com, andreaslinks.com, and take the quiz. I guarantee you'll walk away knowing exactly what your next best step is to level up.